Hello, everybody. It has been a while since Billy and I have been here for Take Your Medicine. This is our little show where we share our medicine with you. I'm Billy. You say hello? Say hi. I have so much I want to talk about today. There is a lot that has gone on since I last recorded an episode, probably about 2 weeks ago. I thought that I would be recording an episode right after journeying my last time, but that was not the case. I needed some time, and there's been a lot going on in our world. And so I've just taken a little bit of a break, and it's been really nice for me. I needed to get integrated after my last journeying experience, and I really want to share that with you today. It was life changing, as it literally always is. I always feel like I level up every single time. You going away, Billy? Before I go any further, let's do our little 100 episode countdown, because I'm not messing around with my goals. I'm determined to get to 100 episodes before the end of 2024. So today, Billy, it's our 14th episode. Are you proud of us? I think she's proud of us. I'm proud of us. It's not been easy, but I always tell my kids that I think success happens in a 3-part formula. Number 1 is consistency, doing it every day or every so often, whenever you decide that that is, the best schedule for you to be on, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Consistency, showing up again and again. If you can do that, you've already beat out like 90% of the people who start things because they don't finish them. So consistency, courage, pushing yourself into, the area where you're not so comfortable, getting out of the box, out of the comfort zone, being brave, being bold, and also doing what you love, doing what you're passionate about, really finding something to do consistently and with courage that you actually love and that you're passionate about. I believe our purpose is found in our passion. I believe that life is meant to be enjoyed. We're not supposed to be grinding and feeling like we're trudging through life. We're supposed to feel light and free and happy and joyful, even if there's craziness going on around us. If we are showing up in our life, pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones, being brave and courageous, and being consistent, doing what we love, I believe that you can't fail. Doors are going to be open. It might not work out exactly as you think. It might work out better than you think. But courage, consistency, and doing what you love is truly what I believe sets people up for ultimate happiness in whatever they want to pursue. So that is what I'm doing my best to set an example to my family and to this world on getting out of my comfort zone, showing up, trying to be brave and bold, sharing the things that are vulnerable to me. And I hope that it helps. And also, this is what I love: spiritual things, journeying, channeling, healing, medicine work, sound work, my puppy. These are the things that I love, especially my family. And I love to talk about my family, but I also don't want to overdo that and make them annoyed with me for talking about them. But they are my reason for doing anything, to be honest. I love my family, my children, and my husband, AJ, and my family that is beyond that, like my ex-husband, Jake, and his wife, Tiff. We are all a very close-knit family, and I'm so grateful, and truly they are my reason. So let's see. I have some notes today because I have so much I want to talk about. First of all, I wanted to do the star of the day. So the star of the day today is a little bit different because the star of the day is my very first hater. And Jonah, my son, and I have talked quite a bit about loving your haters and enjoying the people that criticize your work. And so that is what I want to do today. So paranormal health support, no, help support, paranormal help support is on TikTok. And this is a woman who recently made a video about one of my videos saying it was irresponsible, dangerous, stupid to do the things that I am doing. And I thought that was so interesting. And I actually reached out to her. We ended up having a pretty good conversation and sending each other kind words and encouragement. And she seems like a really nice lady. And she really is just trying to help and trying to do her work. What she helps people do, she says, is to help people get rid of like evil entities or demons and things like that. Kind of, she works with dark things people are experiencing. And she thought that the work that I'm doing is kind of encouraging people to channel, dark entities. And so I wanted to make it very clear to her that I think the very first and most important part of the work I do is shadow work, clearing all of the darkness, clearing all of the heaviness so that you can lighten yourself and experience light beings. Raise your vibration so that you can connect with high vibration beings. And that is my passion. And so I wanted to just give a shout out to my very first hater at Paranormal Help Support. Go check her out because she's not a bad person. She's doing her best. And I just want to send her all the love and all the encouragement. Thank you for your opinions about me. I send you all the love. Think. That's my star of the day. So recently, my son, Thomas, I love you so much, Thomas. He turned 18 on March 7th. And so our whole family, including my ex-husband and his wife, Jake and Tiff, who are awesome, and their kids and our kids, and we have lots of children together, 9 in total. We're one big happy family, and we support each other and we love each other, and we are very non-conventional. And so we have, I'm actually trying to convince them to do a podcast with me. And I think we're kind of getting close to doing it. They've all kind of agreed, and we're looking at titles. And I hope that works out because we have a lot of goodness to share, in my opinion. They're all so different from me, and I feel like I learn so much from them. Tiff is my co-mama. She is the absolute best. She's such a badass. She's so strong. She's so kind. She's so sweet. She's so thoughtful. She always remembers every little thing that I forget, and I'm so grateful for our cruise that we went on all as a big family. She made us all hoodies. She owns CreaTyf Designs. You can look that up, CreaTyf Designs. I believe it's creatyf.designs.com. She can custom make anything, embroidery, screen printing, all kinds of stuff, engraving. So she made us these beautiful purple hoodies because purple is Thomas's favorite color. They have 777 on them because those are his favorite numbers, and a lot of other things that are just special to Thomas and to our family. And we were all able to wear them together on the cruise, and that was so special. Anyway, the cruise was wonderful. We had a really good time. It was an adventure going to California. Driving out there, my car broke down. And so Jake actually had to drive an hour back and get one of his cars and come back to the side of the road and pick us up. And we took one of his cars, and I had mine towed, got it towed to a mechanic. They had it for a week. We paid them a lot of money, and they said it was fixed. Drove it maybe 60 miles, and the exact same problem happened. It broke down again. So I took it to the same mechanic and said, look, it's not fixed. And they said, okay, we will fix it again. They said it was fixed again. And I was driving it yesterday, and sure enough, after I dropped off the kids at school, on my way home, it broke down again. So 3 breakdowns now. So now we have it towed to a different mechanic, and we don't know how long it's going to be because they say it's really backed up there. So It's been a little bit of an adventure and it's been a little bit frustrating, but I feel like what this work has taught me is that we cannot control everything that happens in our life. This life is meant to be a little bit chaotic, noisy, heavy in a lot of ways. Things happen that we can't control. And the best thing we can do is practice responding in a way that helps us and doesn't hurt us, responding with gratitude, with optimism. It was not easy. My soul sister Iggy, my sisters Andrea and Bryn, they've helped me out with just trying to stay positive and giving me encouragement and empathy through the whole thing. But really, I'm so grateful for the work that I have done, this medicine work, this healing work that allows me to move through some of the most difficult circumstances that anybody can experience on this earth with an ability to handle it, to move through it, to be optimistic and grateful, to still see the bright side. And so I'm sure this will be another opportunity to just go deeper into my own self and my own healing and to practice patience and all of the things. We had so many little miracles seeing Thomas everywhere on the cruise. It was so magical. We saw so many sevens. It was so cool. So thank you, Thomas, for being with us on that vacation. You are so special and we love you so, so much. What else? I wanted to mention that last night, AJ and I watched Dune. I had not seen it. We watched the first one. And I have such a hard time with those movies that are like really complicated and they're set in a different time. And so it's like not even Earth. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so much for me. I swear I have some form of dyslexia, although I've never been diagnosed, but calendars are hard for me. Anything really linear, I'm just like, I'm not made for that. I think I'm probably some kind of star seed whose mind is not a linear mind. But my husband is so sweet. And he made, this is my little show and tell for the day. He made me a chart so that I could understand everything going on in Dune. And that helped me so freaking much. And because of this little chart, because I'm such a visual learner, I was actually able to really get into the storyline. Without this, I would have been totally lost and kind of shut my brain off and just been sitting there just to be polite while AJ watched the movie. But because AJ took the time to unconditionally love me, not judge me for my different brain, but he was so sweet and loving and kind with me about it. And because of that, it was one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so excited to go see Dune 2 now. So that was cool and so exciting. And I'm so grateful to you, AJ. You're the best husband I could ever hope for. What else? I wanted to talk a little bit about my last journeying experience. So I won't give too much detail because these things are so sacred. But I did want to just share that when I journeyed this time, I had all of my crystals and my stone, and I used my eye mask and my noise canceling headphones. And I used the Johns Hopkins playlist that I have used many times to journey into other realms. And my intention that I wrote down was to release all heaviness from my being and anything that is slowing me down or keeping me from being my very best, happiest, highest potential self. I want to be light and free and joyful and as helpful as I can possibly be on this earth. And so I wanted to just remove any heaviness from my being that is still slowing me down, causing triggers, causing me to not reach my highest potential in this lifetime. And what I ended up doing was feeling extremely alone in this journey. I took my medicine at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and the journey usually lasts about 3 hours or so. And for that 3 hours, I went into the absolute depths of despair. And Jesus Kate was not there. And I was not experiencing the presence of any familiar God, alien, extraterrestrial, high dimensional, high vibrational beings. I felt so alone, and I felt like there was just so much torture going on in my body and my being, and it was just absolutely brutal. I was never once, feeling like it was a bad idea to be there. It all felt very purposeful, but it was extremely, extremely difficult to be there by myself. I was like, Jesus, Kate, where are you? And what I realized after the fact is that I needed some space to really, really grieve the loss that I have recently experienced just, less than 6 months ago. And so I cried from the depths of my being, from the depths of my literal womb. I cried. I've never cried so hard in my entire life. I wept and wept and wept and wept for this devastating loss. And I felt so alone in that, but I knew that I was getting through what I had said my intention was. I needed to let all of that out. It needs to come out. And so many parts of this work are ugly and difficult and treacherous, but it is so worth it. So I laid there and I just meditated and went through all of the kind of process of the medicine and just grieved and grieved and grieved and grieved and wept and wept. And at the end of it, I felt pretty depleted, and I felt like not discouraged, but a little bit sad that I hadn't been able to connect with any God beings or any entities that would teach me lessons and give me energies that heal my body. Usually my experience is I get to connect with God beings that genuinely perform procedures on my body and also teach me lessons that I can bring to my family and to the rest of the world that I feel help me reach my greatest potential. And so I took the medicine at 8, and after about 3 hours, I called my husband, or actually my husband called me. I told him that I was finished journeying, and we just had a good conversation. And I just told him, like, wow, that honestly sucked. I know it was purposeful. I know it was what I needed. I trust the medicine completely. But that was really difficult. And I just felt sad, and I continued to cry on the phone with AJ. And then I let him go. It was a pretty short conversation. And I told him that I was just going to stay in bed and continue meditating. And so I hung up the phone and I put it away, and there was no music playing. I had my headphones off at this point. I had my dogs with me, and I was just laying in bed and reflecting and meditating with my eyes open and working with my breath and just trying to integrate and process and relax my body. And when I thought my journey was completely over, I felt the presence of a God being beginning to enter the room. And without going into too much detail, I will tell you that this God being was the most glorious God being I've ever beheld. And his power was so intense that I couldn't help but cower and tremble in his presence. And this is not uncommon because these beings are very high vibration being. And when they bring a portion of their power into your room, your literal physical body wants to tremble, your nervous system wants to tense up, and you want to kind of go into the fetal position because you're in the power of so much greatness. It's like being in the power of a great lion or something, except for with so much love. These beings are literally made of intelligence and love, and they are so beyond words beautiful. These experiences are totally ineffable, but they are absolutely real and attainable to people who are doing this work, because there is a great awakening happening, and we have been in these systems, these oppressive, controlling systems from birth that tell us what to believe, what to think, what to feel. And we are coming into a time now as a human species where we are waking up to these control systems, to these institutions, religion, culture, societies, governments, that educational systems that tell us how the world is, what to think, what to feel. And we're waking up to that because we can connect with each other more than ever. And we are sharing these experiences, and it's creating exponential growth and awakening very quickly. And it's beautiful. In 2020, the trees, those first original visions that I experienced through the trees in the year 2020 in June, showed me that there was a great awakening happening. At the time, I was doing no spiritual work whatsoever. I had a skincare company, and I was, trying to be the very best, most productive entrepreneur I could be. And I was woken up by the trees. And I'm so grateful for that experience in my life. It completely changed my life. I sold my company, and I began pursuing spiritual healing for myself. And through that, I was able to start connecting with these God beings who are real and who want to connect with all of us. We all have a higher aspect of our own being. We all exist in many dimensions. There are many layers to who you are. And this layer that we are tuned into, there's a reason that you are not able to always tap into the everything that you are, because we come down here into this very slowed down, heavier existence, because the deeper we can go into our own darkness, the more we can grow and expand into the light. It is just like a tree. They've shown me many times. The deeper and further we go into the dark soil, into the roots, the higher our tree can grow, the more fruitful we can be. And so we as God beings are desiring to expand ourselves, to gain intelligence, to have a wild and exciting experience in this realm. And these beings, we can connect with them, and we can't get all the answers at once. We're not meant to, but we can have these experiences that help us see our own divine being and how connected everything is, and the beauty in all things, and the organization of all things. Everything comes down to sacred geometry and numbers and math and light and love and intelligence. It's so beautiful, but we have to wake up to these systems and start to question them. And the most important part of beginning to do this work is starting to become more honest with yourself, because that is the way to experiencing divine happenings, experiences, divine beings, is learning to get completely honest with yourself. How do you do that? First, you have to find stillness. You have to slow down and be quiet, which is the first words that the trees ever said to me. Slow down and be quiet. And that taught me so much. I really implemented that. I was going all over the place. I was so busy, and I started to cut things out of my life that were not entirely necessary. I started setting boundaries. I started learning to say no so that I could get still with myself and start to ask myself really important questions and be brave enough to answer them honestly. Why do I do the things that I do? Why do I say the things that I say? getting honest with the mistakes I've made, apologizing to the people that I need to apologize for. Atonement, what I have learned to think of atonement as is at one-ment, coming to one with yourself. And as you become the most honest, authentic version of yourself, you realize that you are the divine, that you connect with the divine through connecting with yourself, through loving and honoring yourself. And the trees, they show us all the time, show me all the time that the most important thing we can do is to learn how to become the happiest, healthiest version of ourselves. The trees that bear the most fruit, that are the most glorious, beautiful, useful, helpful, wonderful trees, are the trees that are the healthiest and happiest trees. They don't just get enough nutrients and get enough sunshine to barely survive. No, they literally glisten in the sunshine. They bear the most beautiful, juicy fruit. That is what we want to do too, is learn to love ourselves and learn to give ourselves what we need to truly be the happiest, healthiest versions of ourselves. In spite of what these oppressive systems tell us we are supposed to be, we have to really look inward for all of the answers. So that was a long tangent talking about this experience with this specific God being. He was trying to get me to be able to acclimate to his energy. And I'm getting better and better at this, but it is a practice and it is not easy. I just wanted to keep my hands open like this and be like, oh, I'm trying so hard, but my body would naturally tense and he would try to start to approach me closer and closer with his beautiful, loving, light power. And I would last about 5 seconds relaxing. Okay, relaxing. And then I would feel my legs start to tense up, my arms start to tense up. And he would say, relax, you're doing it again, relax. And I will never hear the word relax again without thinking about this experience with this glorious, beautiful, wonderful being. Anyway, it was such a magical experience. And I realized that this was another lesson in the deeper you go into the depths, the higher you can rise, because I, in this journey, went into the depths of despair. I had to reach the core of my grief, and I had to be there alone in the darkness. And it was very, very difficult to get through. And as I laid there and allowed that experience to integrate, and I meditated in stillness with myself, this being arrived that blessed me, that put his energies into my body, that made me feel so good and healthy and strong. My back is healing more and more. I've had this painful lower back since having all of my babies. I have had 5 babies and I've been struggling with back pain for more than 20 years. And these beings are healing it little by little. I'm so grateful. I've tried everything: physical therapy, chiropractics, wearing braces, painkillers. I've tried everything. And I have learned that these beings are truly able to heal us. And also that we have to do our own work in order to connect with these beings. We have to, and it's not even raising our vibration. It's just removing all the stuff we didn't necessarily ask for to get to our actual divine being, which is a high vibration being. We're all meant to be high vibration beings. I used to need so much caffeine. I used to drink like 5 or 6 cups of coffee a day. I don't drink any caffeine anymore unless it's in my little cup of ceremonial cacao, which I love to drink. I haven't had it in more than a week, but I love it. Because I have so much energy from the work I'm doing, from removing the heaviness from my being so that I can truly be light and free. And so I hope that I can help others love themselves, be honest with themselves, be accountable for whatever you need to be accountable for in your life, apologize to the people you need to apologize for, give gratitude as much as possible. Use mantras to start to work with your mind and train your mind to be more still, and to be so that your mind is not running out of control with negative thoughts, because your thoughts create your feelings. Your thoughts can literally change the chemistry in your body. If you start thinking about something that's delicious, your mouth will start watering. If you start thinking about sexual things, your body will start reacting. Our bodies are a pharmacy of chemicals, and our thoughts are what determine what chemicals our bodies produce. So it's so vitally important that we become familiar with our mind and what our mind is doing, and realize that we can work to control our thoughts. Our mind is like a puppy, and it has to be trained. It's like a friend trying to keep you safe. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh, that person doesn't like you. Oh, and it causes all these chemical reactions and feelings that often are just deceiving. So if we can learn to calm the mind and create a space, a safe space in there, then we can have a good foundation for freedom, for light, for love, for being successful in whatever way you want to be successful. So this being healed my body. It was beautiful, gave me so many beautiful energies. These beings put downloads into me that I don't even understand, that I'm just trying to show up and share, because that is what I'm learning to trust, is just to keep showing up with courage and doing what I love. And so I hope that's inspiring to somebody out there to do the same. What else? I also recently saw something about how hugging trees is literally scientifically proven to help you be healthier and happier in your life, and literally even prevent heart attacks. So I actually Googled, like, is hugging a tree good for your health? And this is directly from Google. I actually printed it off. It says, let's see, it says, research shows that hugging trees reduces levels of cortisol measurable in saliva, a marker of stress, and reduces blood pressure and heart rate. Hugging trees helps reduce stress levels by reducing cortisol levels in the body. This means that hugging a tree can lower your chances of having a heart attack. Oh my God. The trees have done it again. They just continue to amaze me. I freaking love these plants, these teachers who are wanting to help us be the best versions of ourselves. We are meant to be these beautiful, dynamic, multidimensional creators, but we have to get to know ourselves. We have to get quiet with ourselves so that we can be the most powerful creators that we can be, and create things that are light and beautiful and joyful and bring healing. The only way to heal this planet is to recognize that we are the planet, and that we each individually have to go in and work to heal ourselves. And that is the only way that these systems start to heal and this planet starts to heal, is that we heal ourselves individually. The answers are all inside. We are the divine. So one last thing before I go. Let's see, we're at 33 minutes. This is one of my longer episodes. It's just been way too long since I've seen you all, and I was excited, so excited to finally be able to get back on here and share. But I wanted to review with you, because I did mention before on a previous episode that I have struggled with insomnia for years and years and years. Since my little baby boy, my first child, who is now 20, was 6 weeks old, I have been struggling really hard with insomnia. Back then I was diagnosed with the highest dose of Ambien that they can prescribe somebody like me, of my weight or whatever. And it wasn't touching it. I was not sleeping a wink. It was freaking horrible. And so I've tried so many different things throughout the years, and I truly feel like I've figured most of it out. I am sleeping way better than I have in the last 20 years. And I'm not using anything at all, any kind of medicine, over-the-counter medicine or anything. I love my skull cap tea. That is a totally natural herb or flower from China. Again, it's called skull cap tea. I buy the organic loose leaf skullcap tea on Amazon, and that really has scientifically been proven to calm the nervous system and help you to relax. So I love to drink a cup of tea or two before bed, but not too close before bed because I don't want to have to pee in the middle of the night. So I try and drink it right around 8 p.m. and go to bed at like 9:30. Skullcap tea, yin yoga. I highly recommend Travis Elliott yin yoga on YouTube. Yin yoga is such a wonderful way to slow down the body and feel rested and rejuvenated before you even crawl into bed. And Travis Elliott has a yin yoga practice specifically made for bedtime. So if you just YouTube search Travis Elliott yin yoga bedtime, I promise it will come up, and it is beautiful and wonderful. Let me know if you try it and how you like it. Also, a bath has been scientifically proven to help people sleep. There's something about the capillaries getting kind of dilated when you're in the hot water. And then when you get out of the hot water, everything, your body temperature kind of plummets. And there's something about that that helps the body be able to soothe itself and go right to sleep. So if you're really struggling to sleep, I highly recommend yin yoga, skullcap tea, a bath, and I love to put some Epsom salt in there, maybe some essential oils like lavender, tea tree, those kinds of things. Also, I highly recommend turning off your phone at least just not looking at a screen, whether it's a TV, a laptop, a computer, a phone, iPad, whatever screens, turn them off, because it's also been scientifically proven that blue light, or the screens that we expose ourselves to, are very stimulating for the brain. So just turn them off and allow your body and brain to just kind of start to relax and shut down slowly in preparation for bed about an hour before bed. And then there's one more thing that I forgot to mention the last time I spoke about insomnia, and this has made all the difference in the world for me. It is putting a stone on my chest when I go to sleep. Because of my back issues, I really try not to sleep on my side. I try and sleep on my back. And so I have learned that putting a stone, the stone is usually cold when it goes on my chest because it's just been sitting on my nightstand. And it is so nice to put on my chest when I get under my covers and I'm a little bit chilly. I put it on there and I just focus on that stone as I'm going to sleep, the temperature of the stone. And before I know it, I'm asleep. It's amazing. And stones have amazing qualities. They can really absorb a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension from our bodies. A lot of clients that I have had and a lot of friends I have given stones to, and they have given me the feedback that their stone really, really helps them. They keep it under their bed or on their nightstand. And if they're feeling stressed out or if they're having trouble sleeping, even if you sleep on your side, you can hold on to it. You can put it under your cheek. You can put it wherever it feels good, but to focus on the sensation of that stone really, really helps me. And I actually have two stones because if I do wake up in the middle of the night, I want a freshly cold one so that temperature can put me right back to sleep. So I switch them out in the middle of the night sometimes. So I do keep two with me. And I highly, highly recommend that. Let me know if you try it and how that works for you, because it has worked wonders for me. I am sleeping so much better than I ever have. For years, I was using marijuana to sleep, which shut off all of my dreams, or almost all of my dreams. And now I am having amazing dreams. They're so interesting. I really need to start writing a dream journal because it's so fun and interesting to be having these dreams. Some of them have been so powerful and life-changing, and I have journaled about them. But I'm so grateful for the healing I have found and for the sleep relief that I have found. So I hope that some of that is helpful for you. I think that's all I have for today. I'm so grateful to you for watching. If you've hung in there this long, thank you so much for being a watcher. I really appreciate it. I'm doing my very best to share my little soul with the world, and I love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Billy, you want to come say hi? She's lazy today, but she says goodbye and sends her love too. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night whenever you're watching this. I'll see you next time, and namaste.